Today, I am here to add my voice to those citizens who are ready to stand up and be counted, thus repel the hard feelings being fermented in the chamber of ethnocentric feelings. We have noticed that a net has been thrown with the intention and the aim or the objective of catching the gullible, the indifferent, the passive, the innocent, and the unaware. Ultimately, drag them and sell them at the market of regrets. We don't want that to happen. We are going to begin with the theme before us today, which is records at the Independent Electoral Commission may as well help us reveal how some politicians are deceiving the Fulani, Wolof, and other tribes in the Gambia. The ones accusing the United Democratic Party, not better. They are neither in favor of the Fulas and Wolofs, nor any other tribe. They may as well be worse than those they are accusing. Jinxed and toxic threats in the playbook of partisan politics in the Gambia definitely leave so much to be desired, and this has been growing from one generation to the other, but is now reaching the climax, and a genuine citizen, whoever you are, should stand up and then make sure that we admonish those who spread such messages and stop it. Gambia is as better than being soaked in a debate or confrontational speeches, inflammatory language that is emotionally charged by ethnocentric feelings. Honesty urges every citizen not to keep quiet on anything related to what can wake the demons of ethnocentric feelings up. It is unethical, uncivil, illegal, and moral bankruptcy for anyone within any party, organization, or movement to index another political party, organization, or movement with an accusatory finger. Worst of all, calling it an institution that was founded and grounded on tribalism. If that is not irresponsibility and recklessness where responsibility is expected, I don't know what it is. Especially where it is falsehood meant to paralyze nationhood. In all this now, what some people, some citizens find to be the deafening silence of the Independent Electoral Commission among all the arms of government that are expected to contain such callous utterances is definitely shameful, if one is to say the least. It is also believed in certain minds that it is a signal being sent out there to show how biased the IEC has been set in motion. If they don't want to remain stigmatized, let them be taking ownership of responsibility and become the arbiter or the referee that they are expected to be. Before calling the courts in the ring, both the IEC, the Independent Electoral Commission, and the National Human Rights Commission should have intervened or summoned the ones who made those utterances, thus admonished them. Or in this case, we can say the one who made those utterances, thus admonished him. Now, what comes to mind is the following. Remember, public opinion, the psyche of society, and public confidence cannot be deceived all the time. That is to say, for records bearing the registration of those parties who are claiming to be clean and not tribal, and who are claiming to be in it for the Fulani, the Wolof, the Sarahules, and other tribes, but the records of the registration of those parties to be exposed forthwith. Of course, There are many claiming to be associated with the Fulani, Wolof, and other tribes, when in reality, they wrote that they belong to the very tribe they're accusing today. Let's bring the records out. Deceit is dangerous and a threat to responsibility and a threat to stability too. Let no Fulani, Wolof, or other tribe allow any deceptive character hoodwink them into the dark and bottomless pit of tribal woes and misery. How can a kettle accuse a glass of being covered with soot, unthinkable and fallacious? That is, if one is to say the least. Truth be told, in this particular case, the United Democratic Party was unfairly targeted. And that is very irresponsible for us to allow such accusatory positions to remain between political parties in the Gambia. It is the duty of the executive to put a stop to it, because what is ethnic and tribal in politics is no longer politics, is no longer campaign, is no longer democracy. It is illegal and it is threat to security. And the responsibility of the government, even on your last day at the State House or in any office, you should make sure that the backbone of the republic is left intact and nobody will threaten it. We are peace-loving citizens. What we want to see is decency in politics, responsibility in politics, but not such utterance. Why do we call for the records to be exposed? For everybody to know if those who are claiming to be in it for the Fulani and other tribes, whether it will be compatible to what they wrote on their forms when they were registering their part. Why? Because those pointing fingers at the yellow party, which is the United Democratic Party in this case, should tell us what they filled under the column ethnicity on their registration forms at the IEC. Let's make a comparison and say, we are waiting for the records. When night turns to day, many will run away. I am your brother, Ambassador Essa Bokar Sey. We are in this for nation, not for party, not for tribe. The worst part of any political situation is where people would think that anything can go. No, that should be the duty of the executive to put a stop to that. It is very, very unhealthy for people to sit in their homes, watch televisions, and see others talking in such a callous way when it is raw and rude, raw and irresponsible, raw and unethical. That is not right. What is wrong is wrong. And a rule for one should be a rule for all, or there is no rule. Thank you very much.